From WCPO 9, it's a new day.
Welcome back. I'm Myra Cates. Joining me now is a woman who has claimed more awards in her life than I could ever have dreamed of. According to her biography, her very existence has been defined by standing up and speaking with the creative voice inside of her. Her passion for community collaboration, diversity, and cultural education has driven her to secure a permanent location for the Robert ONeal Multicultural Center in honor of her inspirational father, Robert ONeal. Joining me now is the Executive Director of Queen City Foundation and the Founding Director of the Robert ONeal Multicultural Arts Center. Welcome, Toilynn. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, as I was saying, you've had a very extensive and a very successful career in the community. But your enthusiasm to help the community stems from a very young age. Tell us about your childhood and what inspires you to do what you do.
Yeah, well, I had these two very dynamic parents. My father, Robert ONeal, was a community activist, and he was also an artist. My mother worked in science at the University of Cincinnati, and I grew up in the West End. I lived in Parktown, which still exists today off of Liberty and Lynn, and that entire community was a village for me. And basically, through the work that my dad did in the community where, he was my primary babysitter. And so he drugged me to city council meetings and to activism rallies. I was holding protest signs at the age of 2. I had the exciting experience of really having a village of people that were involved in so many various aspects of politics, government, and the arts, that started off my process of really looking at the community and diversity and perspectives very differently.
Well, that is amazing. Now, not only do you have a career that, pays the bills, but you also seem to have a volunteer career as well. Tell us about some of your volunteer work.
Yeah, well, I love the arts and I love youth. And so many of the volunteer activities and the things that I'm connected with now have a strong art base. I'm on several boards. I'm on the board of the Cincinnati Arts Association, the ballet, Clifton Cultural Arts Center, Invest in Neighborhoods. So there's a multitude of organizations that I believe in that actually are building the community and care about diversity and culture. I do lots of work with various arts organizations. I do work with ArtsWave. And then in the community, I love the fact that I can see young people become inspired and go to the next level, and using arts as a tool for that. A member of Black Art Speaks. We were the group that did the mural in front of City Hall. And I hang with a plethora of wonderful artists.
See, like you made volunteerism a career, I tell you. Now tell us about the Robert ONeal Multicultural Center. How did that idea come about?
Yeah, so my father unfortunately passed away in 2018 after he walked me down the aisle. So he got one accomplishment out the way. He did many things in my life, but he was really excited that he was able to give me to a great man to be part of this journey with me. But when he passed away, but prior to him passing away, we had talked about the need for an organization to be rebirthed. There was an organization called the Art Consortium that lived for about 35 years in the West End. It was the center for African American artists and even emerging artists to get their start in the city. It taught people how to do art, but it also was a performance center. It was the base home for Cincinnati Black Theater Company and one of the discovery spaces for Annie Ruth, a very talented artist in the city. And we wanted to bring that back. And so we talked about that, we planned that, and then he passed away. So unfortunately, he did not get a chance to see that dream come true, but my legacy is to make sure that we bring that back. And there were some real key reasons why we wanted that to happen now. The first art consortium existed after the riots in the 60s. And so after all the turmoil in our community, rebuilding it, the arts was very crucial in being an impact and a change agent for everybody to come in to see why African Americans' rights and impact in our city was important. And so the world that we've been living in now also needs to see that the arts can be used as a tool to make change and impact. And so it's the right time for it to happen.
It definitely is. Well, I thank you so much, Toilynn, for joining us today here on A New Day.